Martinis, dogs, it's been a very good day. Well, this is going to make you even happier to learn because 90 seconds could make you feel better. Author Jillian Pransky is all about this concept, and earlier, Colleen caught up with her to learn more about the power of the pause. Take a look.
I am so happy we get to talk about this because I am finding, at least amongst my friends, my loved ones, all of them, that the feeling of anxiety and overwhelming is rising. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I have been teaching for 30 years, and in this past decade, these past 5 years, I have seen, just more and more anxiety. We're living in high alert. We're feeling like that's normal. We almost don't even know how to help ourselves feel better.
Interesting. So is this what inspired you to write your new book?
Yes, besides, this constant low-lying feeling of anxiety, we are pushed by our news feeds, by social media, by the demands of just balancing our work and family and our to-do list. And there is so much chronic stress that not only are we feeling overwhelmed and anxious and irritable, but we're very reactive. We are coming into moments together with other people. We're stressed, they're stressed, and our relationships are suffering. We need a tool not only to feel better in our body, but to be able to respond in our lives more intentionally instead of react habitually from a place of stress.
So going back to the toll this takes on our body, break it down for me a little bit more. What happens to the nervous system when the anxiety starts to go up and you start to feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, so when we are in the nervous system, that is, the nickname is fight, flight, freeze, or the stress response. It's really our brain having the message that we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect and defend. This is the survival mode, and it's natural and it's normal. Our nervous system is not meant to be constantly on guard. And when we are on guard, we prioritize protection and defense, not our systems for health and healing. So digestion goes offline, immunity, growth and repair, elimination. We literally physiologically we're not functioning optimally for good health, for well-being. This chronic stress winds up making us not feel well, but also not behave so well. We're stuck in the survival mode, which limits us to behaviors of being on the offense or the defense. So we miss the connection.
Yeah, and that survival mode can really not feel great. But you kind of address this in your book. Can you at least share one tip that we all can do today to kind of start that 90-second process?
Yeah, so the major takeaway here is 90 seconds really does matter. It's not so much a gimmick as actually the truth of how the nervous system works. So when we feel overwhelmed, when we're anxious, when we have a big hit of stress, it is shown by neuroscience that the body releases stress hormones. We've heard of cortisol and adrenaline in this surge. And if we let that surge do what it needs to do, it is actually recorded as a 90-second surge. If in that window, we could interrupt the stress response by coming back into our body and feeling supported, feeling safe on the ground in our body, take a deep breath, we can send a message up to the brain that we're safe enough to shift out of stress and into a state of clarity or calm, neurological relaxation. I love this one. You can do it anywhere, anytime in just 3 breaths. It's called the sand timer or the hourglass. And you can imagine your body, an hourglass turned upside down. And on 3 breaths, just coming down like the sand in the timer from your head to your shoulders on an exhale. And imagine on the next exhale, lowering the weight, the sand, the heaviness down through your torso. And take one more long exhale and let your weight really land on the ground.
So I can kind of start to feel how that's changing me mentally, physically. But earlier we talked about how the stress affects the body. Can you talk about what happens when we start to slow down, when we start using these tools and bringing that hourglass back?
Oh, I love your question. That is something that most people don't believe is right at their fingertips, right? So we can't talk ourselves out of stress in the same way when someone says, just relax. If you're anything like me, 30 years of practicing relaxation, and if my family tells me to just relax, it actually makes me more tense. If we want to shift into relaxation and get those benefits, we start by sending messages of safety. It starts in the body. We have more clarity, more calm. We can respond instead of habitually react on autopilot. And the other bonus point is we get this release of relaxation hormones instead of those stress hormones we talked about before. Hormones like oxytocin and serotonin that help us not only feel more bonding, more connectedness, but also more compassion and empathy, more ability to be curious and creative. When we move into that state, everything changes.
Thank you so much, Jillian. I mean, I'm feeling better myself. I hope the viewers are too, but we'll be on the lookout for your book. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for pausing with me.
You can get a copy of Jillian's book, The Power of the Pause, wherever books are sold. You can also connect with her online at jillianpransky.com.